Good afternoon, friends. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to do a Game of Thrones ranking video. My top 10 favorite Game of Thrones characters. So if you haven't seen the show, you want to watch the show, there's going to be big time spoilers. So you're not going to want to watch this. Also, I do want to say, like, if you haven't watched Game of Thrones, just a little tip from a huge Game of Thrones fan to another potentially huge Game of Thrones fan. Just stop watching either season 4 or season 5. Take your pick. I would say season 4. After season 4 is over, just pretend the rest of the series doesn't exist. If you want to keep going, go ahead. I would definitely say, though, after season 6, stop. Just stop. Don't do it. Stop. Okay? Just a little tip from MamaSam. Also, there's another thing that I have to do. Like, I don't want to do it, but I know I gotta. So, lots of YouTubers do it in their videos. I think it's time. I'm going to try to do this the best I can. I haven't done it yet. And I'm a little nervous. So, okay, here goes. I don't know how to do this. Please? No, gosh, that sounds like I'm begging. I guess I kind of am. If you like this video, please, below the video, click the like button. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, click the subscribe button and leave a comment for Mama Sam to read and reply to. Okay, was that good? I gotta start doing that, I guess. Like, I don't know. It's just what I've been told that I'm supposed to do. So, yeah, leave comments. You know, I really will reply to them if you leave them. Yeah, and, you know, I mean, if you can support the channel, oh, please do. I really would appreciate it. Like, if there's anything to take away from that really awful plug for myself, would be, please subscribe if you can. Mama Sam is struggling. I am basically surviving off of water and the scent of roses. Okay, I'm full now. So anyway, let's have fun with this. This is going to be totally like, let's just have some fun with this Game of Thrones character ranking video. And if there's somebody on here that you disagree with, don't worry, it's okay. We can be different and we can all still be beautiful. Also, if I didn't put somebody on your list that you think belongs, go ahead and leave it in the comments if you want, but just remember, this is just for fun, and don't be like, oh my god, I can't believe you left this person off. You're like, have no idea what you're talking about. We're just gonna have a little fun time with a ranking video. I feel like I'm super close to the camera today. Don't I look like I'm like right in your face? Anyway, let's jump into our character ranking. So for number 10, we have Arya Stark. Now, when the show first started, I loved Arya. She was like my favorite character. As the show kept going, though, her story, it got really boring. Like, it started off really great, and, you know, she saw her father get murdered in front of her. She vowed revenge on them. She made a list. I love it. We're doing great so far. And then somewhere along the way, her story just got super slow and boring, and she didn't do a lot. It's like they had to sideline her character before she could get in to do what she needed to do. There were times when Arya was so awesome, like when she was able to cross the names off her list. But then in the very end, she felt really underutilized. It felt like everything that she had learned from the House of Black and White didn't really come into play at the end. And then her killing the Night King, I'm sorry, that's just stupid. Like, I thought that was dumb. Like, I honestly thought that probably should have been Jon Snow, to be honest, because in the end, the whole reveal with him didn't matter either. And I thought that's what it was for. Thought it was meant for him to be like the one that slays the Night King. I don't know. I guess not. So yeah, in the end, Arya kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. I did like that she was going to travel on to see what was west of Westeros. I don't know. I guess I have a very Lara Croft, Dora the Explorer perspective when it comes to things, because now that I would want to watch. Arya traveling the world and seeing what's out there, that I'd want to watch. As far as her character goes, she started off so awesome and strong, and in the end it was like, you didn't really do much. Number 9, Jaime Lannister. If you would have told me when the show first started that I would have this guy on my top 10 favorite list of Game of Thrones characters, I would have thought you had absolutely lost your mind. I could not stand this guy when the show first started. He was totally arrogant. He was a total ass to everybody on the show. He pushed a child out of a window trying to kill him. I mean, for like 2 seasons, I'm like, this guy needs to die. He's a monster. And then, I don't know, and then he just got really interesting. Like, Bran stayed the same from the time the show started till the end, like other than the whole three-eyed raven thing, but he was so boring. His story was so uninteresting that it got to a point where I'm like, yeah, I know Jaime pushed him out the window, but I don't know, I just don't really care anymore because Bran is so boring. Jaime has more character development in his lost hand than Bran does in his whole 8 seasons of being on the show. I think Bran might have even been like absent for a season and you don't even notice. That's how boring his character is. Got it. Yeah, so anyway, I ended up really liking Jaime. The last season, of course, destroyed his character like it did everybody else's. But he before that, he was on a great path, and I really liked it. And I loved the episode with him and Daenerys when they had their big war, because I'm like, ultimately, I do want Daenerys to win, but I'm like, I don't know who I want to live in. Can they both just walk away? And luckily, they did. I love that episode so much when they're like, we can hold him off, and then Jaime's face when Dany comes over the hill, he's just like. It's really funny. So for number 8, I have Jorah Mormont. I mean, I can't be a like House Targaryen stan and not put Jorah Mormont on the list. I mean, come on, it's Jorah. He's like your really nice uncle, you know. He's an amazing fighter. He's a seasoned war veteran. I mean, that one episode where he was in the stadium and he was fighting, I mean, that was amazing. And I know he did betray Dany, but I mean, he was sorry. He really was. The whole storyline with him getting the stuff on his skin, though, I don't really know what the point of it was other than just to have him separate from Dany. It didn't really have any impact on story. I don't really know. I don't get it. Maybe there's something I'm missing. So for number 7, I have Ned and Catelyn Stark, the patriarch and matriarch of House Stark. I love Sean Bean. I love him so much. I loved him way back in Lord of the Rings, and then later when he was in like every movie ever made. I love the character of Ned Stark as well. He's the very first character we kind of, relate to, other than him cutting that kid's head off. He's kind of like the audience. He's the audience's character. Like if we could project ourselves into anybody, I think in season 1, it's Ned. He's trying to do what's right for his friend. He's trying to protect his family. I mean, he left his wife. Like, I don't know. I wasn't cool with that. But at the same time, Ned was in like a position of power. So he kind of had to go, and he thought that he was creating a better life. I don't really know. I mean, he did it. If he wouldn't have, we got to remember this is a show. If he hadn't have left, we wouldn't have had the show. I mean, Ned Stark was only in 1 season of Game of Thrones, but damn, what a season it was. And he was a great character. I was really, really upset when he died. Like, I still remember how I felt when I saw it. I'm like, I had a feeling that the king would die and that Ned wouldn't be too far behind him in order for the story to happen. So, but when he handed Cersei the paper, I remember thinking like, haha, got you, Cersei. And then she just ripped it up and threw it away. And I'm like, oh, we're in a whole different kind of ballpark in this show. And Catelyn Stark, I do like her. She's very motherly. She loves her children. She's very supportive of her children. The ones that are actually hers. This poor woman, she goes through so much trauma. So much trauma. Her husband gets killed. That right there, I would be devastated. She loses both of her daughters. Like, they get taken away from her. I can't even talk. Like, as mom, I would be... How did this lady even still get up and walk around in the morning? Like, she was basically just driven by her motherly instinct. That was what kept her going. Her father dies. She watches her cutest son get slaughtered in front of her after telling him, you can't do this. Like, oh man. She never sees her children again. I really feel bad for Catelyn Stark. And I did. I really liked her. I connected with her a lot. Probably because I'm a mom. Number 6. Joffrey Baratheon. I love this little shit. He's just so deliciously evil and deranged. There's nothing good or noble about this character. He's a terrible little monster, tortures people, and I love every second that he's on screen. He's just so fun to watch. He's so unpredictable, you know? It's a shame that he died, I guess, early. Season 4, I don't know. But anyway, it's a shame that he died pretty early in the show, although I really enjoyed watching that too. I felt like after Joffrey died, the show just wasn't as fun anymore. Like I said, because he was so unpredictable. I honestly feel like, this might, I don't know, maybe this makes me sound stupid, but I honestly feel like they should have just ended the show after season 4. You know, Joffrey was killed, the king was dead, Tywin was dead too. I think it would have been a good ending. I don't know, maybe it's just me. What ended up happening in that show. I still haven't gotten over it. It's been like 2 years. Oh my gosh, season 8 sucks so bad. So for number 5, I have Robb Stark. I love this character. And what I love about Robb Stark is that he's kind of one-dimensional. He's very, and it works for him. He is no BS. Like, stuff started going down with his family, and he didn't even hesitate. He was like, okay, I'm going to start an army, and we're going to go get revenge and kill all of them. Like, he didn't even hesitate. There was no, like, oh, well, I don't know. Like, no, Robb was born for battle, and he had no reservations about going in. It was like, oh yeah, we got to kill these people. Okay, let's go. You know, you want me to conquer this land? I'm on it. Me and my boys, we're going to do it. Like, he was really smart. He was really smart, I guess, kind of on the battlefield. In his personal life, Robb was really stupid. You have to keep in mind that he's a kid. He's young. He's like, what, 17 years old? I mean, he was a kid. Would you want to marry one of Walder Frey's ugly daughters? Like, I wouldn't. The girl that he ended up with, she was really cute. Like, so he did make a mistake. Unfortunately, that mistake cost him, the ultimate price. So I was really, really sad when he died. Although I can't really blame Walder Frey. Like, I get it. You know, this guy made a bargain. You're not just making a bargain like, hey man, if you help me move, like, you owe me a pizza, and then you back out on it. It's pizza. Like, no, they were at war, and these people were helping. Like, when it comes to war and you're offering things, like, you don't back out of that stuff. You got to keep true to that, or yeah, you might end up dead. And unfortunately, he did. Number 4, I have Cersei Lannister. Cersei is the ultimate villain of the show. When I think of the final boss of Game of Thrones, it's Cersei, okay? It's not the Night King, which is a shame, because it should be, but they screwed that up. It's definitely not Dany. That was stupid. I didn't wait 8 seasons to see Dany get her comeuppance. I've been waiting for 8 seasons to see Cersei get her comeuppance. She is, just like Joffrey, deliciously wicked. But she's got so much more character depth to her than Joffrey. Obviously, Joffrey is pretty one-dimensional too. He was just a psychopath kid. But Cersei has way more development going for her. Sometimes the things that she does, you can kind of relate. She loves her children. That is the best thing about Cersei, is how much she loves her children. And, as a mama bear, I can relate to that. When she killed Ilaria because of what they did to her daughter, I was like, Cersei, me and you have disagreed on a lot, but right now I got your back, girl. Like, I totally understand. So Cersei did do things that I could understand. Cersei wasn't just driven by just being a flat note crazy person. She did the things she did because she had reasons. She didn't just enjoy killing people. She had her reasons. All the things she did were terrible. I'm not going to lie. She was a terrible person. She was a hateful woman, but she had her reasons. One of the things that she did that I really hated the most was when she made Ned kill Sansa's dog in the first season. I felt like I was like, I'll never forgive this woman. I really never did. I never have forgiven Cersei for the things she's done. But, when you look at it from Cersei's twisted point of view, she's like, well, that dog attacked my son. I get it a little bit. I mean, ultimately, Cersei, she was the villain. She was a bad guy. She was terrible to the Starks, made them kill their own dog while the little daughter screamed and cried about it. She stood by and let Joffrey kill Ned. She tortured Sansa for seasons. She tortured Tyrion, Roz, smirked at how Joffrey was treating Tyrion at his wedding. Well, we all know how that ended. She blew up the local church with all of her, people in it. When she killed her son's wife and didn't really care much when he killed himself in turn, She was a twisted person. She was the ultimate villain of Game of Thrones. And it is such a shame what they did with her character. Season 8, you might as well not even have had her there. I don't know what the point was. Season 8, it was just so stupid. I can't wrap my mind around the show. What happened? I don't know. Wow, how underutilized such an amazing actress was in the last season. You're waiting for that final... I wanted either Sansa to kill her or Arya to get in there and kill her. I wanted Sansa at least to be able to see her die and be standing over her, watching her when Cersei took her last breath. That's what I wanted. Instead, she was killed by a brick with Jaime in her arms. I don't know. It's a travesty. It was a total travesty. Cersei's character, it deserves so much better. So for number 3, I have Marjorie Tyrell. Oh my gosh, what a ray of sunshine this woman is. She is so pretty. She has got great hair and she has the best outfits in the whole show. Oh my gosh, I have such a crush on Marjorie. Okay, but other than her just being so damn charming, Marjorie was a really great character. She was very manipulative. She was kind of like her grandma. Shout out to you, Grandma. She was playing the other side. Were they trying to take the throne? I don't really remember, but they were definitely not in bed with the Lannisters. Maybe literally, but not metaphorically. They hated Joffrey and they hated the Lannisters. They were trying to do something. I can't really remember what, but I know they definitely weren't Team Lannister. She just lights up a room when she walks in. She's always happy and in a good mood. And she is actually pretty smart. Not smarter than Cersei, unfortunately. And she was so kind to Sansa and tried to save her, Thank the gods for Marjorie. Number 2. My number 2 character, I could actually put in the number 1 spot as well. I could just get rid of number 2 and just jump to number 1 and be like, they both are here. But because I'm not going to do that, this person fell at number 2. And that would be Peter Baelish, a.k.a. Littlefinger. Oh my gosh, I love this character so much. So why do I love Littlefinger so much? Remember that charm stuff I was talking about? Littlefinger has it in spades. Not to mention, oh man, I wish I could give this guy a dictionary and just let him read to me all night long. He has such a sexy voice. Okay, I'm so shallow. Let's move on. Oh, he's a great dresser. Okay, now I'll move on to his character. Littlefinger is the ultimate player in the game. He is by far the smartest character on the show. The only person that could really rival him would be Varys. It is such a shame that they didn't have one final get together. I would have loved to seen them in the end, when Varys was still Team Dany, would be well, my queen's better, and then Littlefinger, who's Team Sansa, would be well, no, my queen's better, and then they could have just one of their epic talks that they would do because neither one of them would fight. That would be so cool. Littlefinger, he's so suave, he's so cool, he's so smart, he's smarter than you. I don't care what you think in Game of Thrones. I don't care who your favorite character is. Littlefinger's smarter than that character. I don't care if Sansa learned stuff from Littlefinger, and that's how they justify what happened to him in the end. Littlefinger had a good 30 years on her and dealt with things I'm sure that were way darker. I mean, he loved Catelyn Stark, and he knows that they were sending off people to butcher her, and he didn't say anything. Why? Because the game was ultimately more important than anybody else to him. Sansa never in a million years would be able to do something like that. He was definitely way smarter than her. So his ending, I had a big problem with how he died. I knew Littlefinger was going to die, but getting killed by frickin' Anna and Elsa, that is not how Littlefinger should have gone out. I mean, I swear, man, I'm talking about it, I'm getting all pissed off again. Game of Thrones, I swear, I honestly think it started in season 6, but definitely season 7 and season 8 just completely shit the bed. So before we get to the number 1 spot, I've got some honorable mentions. Oh yeah, I'm going Watch Mojo style. Here they are. And number 1 is Daenerys Targaryen, the mother of dragons herself. I'm sure you saw this coming, especially if you've seen some of my other videos. Before I even knew what Game of Thrones was, I remember seeing the previews, and she's the only thing I remember from the previews because I remember she had like super white hair and dragons. And when I seen her, I'm like, I love this woman already. I know it. I do. Aside from just being very gorgeous, Daenerys is also really fierce. I love how she went from being like, had no clue what was going on. She was like a total like child, just like going along with things, and then becomes like this really fierce war queen who would make even the likes of Stannis proud. Oh, Stannis, what happened, man? Besides being, you know, beautiful and strategic, aggressive yet vulnerable, stern yet forgiving, and the voice of the voiceless, she has dragons. I mean, that right there, that wins, hands down. You could put frickin' hot pie on the back of a dragon, and that would be my favorite character. I loved how she had the ultimate weapon in the show. I mean, she really did. Like, you know, anybody else be like, here's my army, like, we're rolling up with our boys and we're about to go to battle. And she could just be like, well, I've got a dragon. You're all dead. Like, I guess to me, that's just having that much power. Like, that's really cool. Like, that made me really love the character. Despite whoever was on the back of the dragon, like, seriously, you put anybody back there and I'd be like, yeah, go! I mean, when you're talking to people, like, people that don't even know what Game of Thrones is, they think of Game of Thrones, they're going to think of Dany and the dragon. She's like the unofficial mascot for Game of Thrones, so. And she's my favorite character. Her and Littlefinger. I love them both. So that's it, friends. That is my list. I just want to say that my email, sharewithmamasam@gmail.com, is still open. Don't forget, ultimately, this is a chronic illness awareness channel. I haven't gotten anybody's stories. Like, if you want to send your story and you want to talk about it, everything else will be sidelined. That is the most important thing about this channel, is sharing your story, letting you know that you're not alone, that we're out here. So please, if you want to share your story, please do send those emails in. Also, send ghost stories. I've been asking for like ever. I'm just going to go online and start looking for ghost stories and reading them. Like, I really want to read ghost stories. I don't know why. So weird. But anyway, I could always talk about like my own personal ghost stories, and also reading some of your personal ghost stories. That would be really fun. So anyway, that's all I got for today. I will see you guys next time. Bye, friends.